various types, various parameters and various specifications related to the goalkeeping gloves, and this is what the topic today. This is Soccer Bazaar, your football kit store, and before we head back to the main topic, intro. So as I have been saying about various types and various variations of goalkeeping gloves, what I mean is that while choosing your goalkeeping gloves, the situation can be very tricky because it's all about the comfort and it's all about the your performance on the field, because it's what that matters, the performance of yours in the field while playing. And as the saying goes that a glove does not make a goalkeeper, it's all about practice and determinations. But while you were playing, your safety of the hand is when you are a goalkeeper, your safety of the hand is one of the very first issue, because if once it gets injured, you will not be able to play your next matches. So what happened is that this particular thing, while choosing your goalkeeping gloves, there are various cuts, various V shapes based on your hand. As I have said in the previous video, based on your hands you have to choose the goalkeeping gloves, because if you are not comfortable, if you are not if your hand is not that much up to the inner frame of the gloves, then you will not be comfortable while playing the game, because your attention will be on the glove. That will be a very huge effect on your particular game. So all the attention is going towards the gloves and it is less towards the game. So it is not the condition which you are expecting. Cuts in a particular goalkeeping gloves, it's one of the specifications which are very important, because these actually particularly plays a very important role. Why? Because this particular cut provide or determines the room that your particular finger is going to have inside the gloves. What I mean? I mean that the comfort level, that means when you will insert your hand inside the gloves, the room inside that particular gloves for your hand will determine the comfort level. And for the cut, there are basically three types of cuts which are available. One is the roll finger cut, second one is the flat palm cut, and the third one is the negative cut. And beside this particular three basic cuts, there are other cuts, just like there are hybrid cut, which is the combination of all these threes, or combination of twos, or negative or hybrid, this like. So first cut which we will discussing is the roll finger cut. Now what is the roll finger cut? This is one of the most popular and one of the increasingly popular type of gloves which is rising. Here this is the back end of the hand, and this is the palm. So what happened in the roll finger cut, this particularly palm, if I say this particularly gloves, this is a particular gloves which is used by me, and this particular thing is called the latex. This particular palm portion is called the latex, and this is the back end of the hand of the particular palm. So in the roll finger cut, what happens is that these latex and this back end of the hand they are connected, they are joined, and that provide what this particular whole, that is the latex is rolling around the finger, and thus what happens is that the surface area for the grip, that is for the latex, is increased, and that actually increase gripping power of the particular gloves. Now one thing I have said in the earlier terms, that a glove does not determine the goalkeeper, it requires practice. So for gripping, it requires much practice while doing. Now we will be doing all these grippings and all these things in the ground, because it is not only theoretical video. We will do in our future videos for the practical cases when we will go to the ground. Clear? So this is a particular roll finger cut. Now one must be thinking that what this particular roll finger cut is useful for. Who will use this? Now this particular cut is useful for those who have a bit stronger body, because what happens is that as this is rolling around the finger, and when you stretch your hand for the save, what will happen is that your particular gloves will be a bit bulkier, and it might be uncomfortable for various reasons. Okay, but if you are comfortable with this particular gloves, you should go for it. After the roll finger cut, the next gloves which we have in our next cut of the gloves which we have is the flat palm cut. Now this particular gloves is the best example of a flat palm cut. Now see what this particular is the latex and this is the backhand, and you can see there is a stitching between these particular things, right? This is for the ear gap circulation. And what happened is that as these are not connected just like the roll finger palm, so what happened is that this particular latex on the palm is connected to, is stitched, this you can see the same, and this is stitched outside, right? You can see this particular thing. If my focus is on, you can see that this particular stitch and this stitch is on the outer side of the gloves, and it provide a wide palm area for the latex. Now this enables a wider surface, and as you can see about, and you can guess that this kind of gloves are very much suitable for the players who are having, or the goalkeepers who are having a wider hand, right? Now this particular gloves was used by me in my playing days, and this is not suitable for my hand. And so in that case, if you are having a broader hand, a broader palm, then you should go for these gloves. Otherwise, the next type of gloves which I will be showing is the best for those who have a smaller hand. So as I am saying about the flat cut, and I have said that that particular flat cut of the gloves is suitable for those having wider hand. So for the goalkeepers that is having a little smaller hand, I mean a little less wider hand, in those kind of goalkeepers, the one is the negative cut for those. What is the particular characteristics of a negative cut? If you see this particular gloves, so here I have seen that this is the particular stitching which is outside. Okay, in the negative cut, what happens is that all these stitchings are inside the particular gloves. If you see this particular, open this, if I see this, all this inside, okay, it is not the flat, it is a flat one. I am saying that for the negative cut, all the stitchings between this particular latex and this particular ear gap area, this particular stitching is all inside. What is the advantage of this? That these particular gloves provide a true shape to your hand, right? It makes your hand tighter, it keeps your palm tighter, clear. And in some cases it might be uncomfortable for you, because what happens is the hand, just like we have saying that that cut, it provides room to your finger. So as it is a negative cut and the stitch is inside, what happens, the finger finds it becomes tight, okay, and the hand, it sometimes becomes uncomfortable, right? And this is particular thing about the negative cut. So who will use this particular kind of gloves? The goalkeepers who are having a bit slender type of hand, and for those who are having a smaller hand but they need more comfort area about the gloves, in that case they can use this particular type of cut. So we have discussed all about these cuts and all these things, and beside this we have said there are hybrid cuts, which are the combination of either the flat or roll cut. These are all these things, and this is all about the cuts. Before going to the shop, decide what is your hand type, and based on that decide what kind of cut you will need. Clear? Now also there is a budget related issue. So in that case, in most of the Indian shops, I mean except the Adidas, Nike, all these things, if you go to a normal local shop or whatever kind of shop you will go, for the Indian thing we will see, and in other cases also which are very low budget gloves, in that cases what you will find is that there are not much variations, and in that cases what happens, maximum are a flat cut. Clear? So as I have been saying this for many times, that goalkeeping gloves does not decide particular goalkeeper. So whatever gloves you will get, clear, so try to match your criteria, try to match your finger criteria, right, and ask for that particular one. And if you are going for a professional one, for a professional career or whatever it might be, so in that case it might be a bit good idea to invest a bit money and go for that particular gloves that your particular finger will require, because it will serve you for better, it will increase your efficiency. Otherwise you keep for these flat gloves, flat palm gloves, okay. And what will happen in the particular flat palm gloves is that it will be better for you to grip. And again, whatever I am saying, that gripping is all about practice and determination, and also seeing the ball when it is coming through the ear, right? Or I mean following the ball when it is coming through ear, trying to grip it, because it will increase your efficiency, okay. So I will talk about this particular thing in my later videos, in my upcoming videos, about this practice and all these things. Beside this cut, there is another variation. Just like you see this particular thing, this particular joint, right? This is the V joint. This is in these particular gloves, you can see it is not so prominent. If I wear these gloves, you can see that this particular gloves is flat palm. It is well fit to my arm, okay. And there is enough room inside the particular gloves, this particular flat palm. And what happens whenever I try to grip the ball, I have to stretch my fingers, right? I have to stretch my fingers, and this particular thumb is here, right? I have to grip the ball like this. So here there are various particular gloves which provide automatic. Here you will see that I have to make the V shape, right? I have to make the V shape between the gloves in order to grip it perfectly. There are various gloves which will provide you a ready-made V shape to the gloves, right? So in that case, these gloves are very suitable when you are trying to grip. I have forgot to mention one particular advantage, is that here in the roll cut gloves, it is a bit difficult when you are going to punch, so you have to shrink your hand. It is a bit difficult. So in that case, it is very useful for this flat palm. It is very easy to shrink your hand and give a punch to the ball, of course. So what happens is that this kind of gloves is the V shape. There are various gloves which provide, and it is a bit warning or whatever you can think that these kind of V shapes gloves which are available, which are ready-made, these are a bit costlier ones, and in that case you should not go for the costlier one at first. You should try with the basics ones. You should go for that one, and it should try to have it in your own way, because that will help you to build your basic. Another particular factor is called the pre-arched palm. What I mean, let me wear the gloves for the second time. So here we can see that this type, when you see the cross-section area, this particular side view, this particular thing is a bit pre-arched. You can see these type of gloves, these are called pre-arched gloves. It is a bit difficult to make it flat. So these type of pre-arched gloves is recommended when we grip the ball. You can see the arc is there, which will shape the ball will get set to your hand with this pre-arch. So this particular gloves will provide. If you go for a bit high budget, you will get all these facilities. Now, so these are all the recommendations, all the things which you will be using. But one particular warning or whatever you might think is that whenever you are going to play on the Indian soil which is rough, okay, or whenever you are a new one, do not go for this particular latex palm gloves, okay. Go for the normal low-cost gloves which may be made of the cloths, not of cloths. Those are very dangerous because they can injure your hand. Don't go for that. Go for a bit higher quality, I mean with a bit thicker cloth layer or whatever. There are also gloves which are made of the leathers, whatever they say, the leather gloves. When I used to play, they used to say leather gloves. So go for the leather gloves. You will not find the latex. There you will find these rubber pads are there. Is a rubber pad is there. Go for that gloves. That will improve your gripping power. That will improve your punching power when you will be by. Suppose you are a new or you are in a training session. Okay. So and you don't have much budget, then increase the budget a bit and go for those leather gloves. If you are a particularly a new one, I will make video for the new one in my next coming video. But if you are, so go for the particular leather gloves. That will improve your gripping power, your punching power, because when particularly in the Indian ball, it is a bit harder. So when you will get your punching power in your hand, it will, this particular gloves which are super beneficial for you, that just like for the gloves from Nike or Adidas, they will be very helpful for you, because that will be very easy for you. Now, why I am not saying to use this particular glove? Let me show you. You can see this wear and tears on this particular palm latex. I used a particular glove. This particular glove is having hard latex. So that's why after using for so many years, it has get worn down for this particular patch. So I have used a particular type of gloves. I will not take the name of that particular company, but that particular gloves, that too had the latex, but that was very poor quality, and I have to admit that after 2 or 3 matches during the rainy season, as the soil is very rude to the particular equipment, as I've said, what I have to do is particular latex got torn away. Okay, so when you are going to buy, just consider what kind of surface you are going to play, because it will damage your particular equipment and you have to buy for the second time, and I don't expect you to be in that particular condition. So go for the low budget leather gloves having the particular rubber pad, increase your efficiency, increase your gripping power, and depending upon the soil area, soil types, change your particular gloves and have the particular confidence that you can play in whatever gloves you get. Clear? Of course, gloves play a very important role regarding to your comfort, and as I say, it is not the all thing which is about the goalkeeping. So this particular video is getting a bit longer, but I don't have any option but to give you the full information about the goalkeeping gloves. So whenever you go to the shop, use your brain, see what kind of cut you have, what kind of surface you are going to play, what kind of season you are going to play, and depending upon that, choose your gloves and go as per the specification I have said. Go for it, and next video will be about the how to choose your gloves for the young goalkeepers, for the age group from 10 to 14. Okay, because during this particular age period, it is very difficult to find a good gloves or premium quality gloves, because all are made of the high quality for the big adults. So these are not available. So I will say which gloves, what to choose and what to do. So if you are liking the particular video, this particular video, and if you are willing to get notified and willing to see the particular video and willing to continue with us our journey, so it might be a good idea to subscribe. And if you like this particular video, it will be a good one to give a thumbs up. This is all about this particular today, and so have a nice day. Use your brain, choose correctly, and be within the budget. Thank you.